Hello, everyone. My name's Stephanie Thompson, and this is my program completion timeline and kind of all the things that I've done since I graduated from high school and kind of my career path, past and future, hopefully. So let's get started. My early career, I knew I wanted to major in education before I ever left high school. So I graduated from high school in 2000 and started college at Cali Community College in Ark City, Kansas. I took a basketball scholarship there and absolutely love that institution and all the people there. I obtained my associate's degree in 2002 and I transferred to Pittsburg State University and graduated with my bachelor's degree in education in 2004. I played basketball the whole way through, and I remember doing my student teaching in the spring of 2004. And my coach at the time said, you're not going to be able to student teach while you're still playing. And I said, well, then I'm not going to play because I'm not going to extend this 4-year degree any longer than it needs to be. So he allowed me to student teach. I was the first athlete ever at Pittsburg State to student teach and still play the conference schedule. So that's just a little fun fact. But in 2004, I remember in April over Easter break, I came home for my first teaching interview, and it was at Fairfield Schools. I didn't feel very comfortable with it. They offered me the position, and it just didn't feel right. So I ended up taking a full-time teaching position of middle school language arts in Mullinville, Kansas for the upcoming 2004-2005 school year. Throughout the years, I've had a lot of changes in responsibilities. In 2005, I picked up some extracurricular duties. I coached actually middle school boys basketball and high school girls softball. I never really coached or played much softball since I was in middle school, but that middle school basketball boys, coaching those boys was a absolute blast. They of course didn't think I knew anything about what I was talking about, but eventually I earned their respect and we had just the best time. So I taught, I lived in Pratt. I drove 40 miles to Mullinville for my teaching responsibilities, and then I drove 20 miles back towards Pratt to Haviland to coach and to have practice. So it was an eventful year, but yet a great learning experience. In 2006, this is when things got interesting. I became a head high school coach at Skyline High School here in Pratt. I commuted every day now to Haviland as they offered me the language arts position there. So it was just about a 20-minute drive shorter each day for me, one way. But I was teaching in Haviland and then coaching at Skyline. So looking back on that year, I think about how crazy it sounds now, but I wasn't married. I didn't have any children. So it was okay then, but I couldn't do it now. In May of 2006, I earned a teaching degree at Skyline, also language arts. So I was able to no longer drive to work or not drive too far to work. And then I was still, of course, coaching the high school girls. I had 2 successful seasons there at Skyline. And then Kurt McAfee, of all people, called and wanted to hire me to be the head basketball coach at Pratt Community College at the whopping age of 26 years old. So I was trying to run a basketball program, a collegiate program at a very young age. I learned so much. I thought I knew everything I needed to know back then, but knowing what I know now, I'm not sure I knew anything back then. Along with my coaching responsibilities at PCC, I also had to teach a few HPR classes, like rules and officiating and concepts of physical health, some classes like that. In 2011, though, I was given the opportunity to become the assistant athletic director and then obviously continue to coach basketball. I absolutely loved my job as the assistant athletic director, and this is where my passion for administration really started to burn. After I got the assistant athletic director position, I realized that administration is where my passion lied, and really in sports administration. So things changed along the way, which I'll talk about, but I started my master's degree then in 2011 from Central Missouri State University, all online. And then I completed that degree in 2013. Then life happened and I got married. I had our first child in 2012, in the fall of 2012, as I was trying to finish my master's, and that, my friends, was crazy. But I had our second child in August of 2015, and that's just when I knew that college athletics for me was just too much as a young mom with 2 basically an infant and a toddler. It was just too much. I needed out. So I approached Mr. Helfrich, our current superintendent here at Pratt Schools, and he hired me in 2016 to teach history here within the district. Coming back to public ed was a big time adjustment for me, but I loved it, and I'm so thankful that that's where life has led me. So I taught history until 2019, and then Mr. Helfrich approached me to make a change. He wanted me to take me back to my sports background and health background and become the PE teacher here at LMS. So that's what my current role is, and I've been doing this role for now 3 school years. Looking into the future, I began my non-degree endorsement for building level leadership in January of 2021, obviously through Hayes. It's gone extremely well, and I'm almost there. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. I will begin my practicum in January, this upcoming January, and finish in May. I plan on taking the praxis in February, and like I said, hopefully finish this May. The goal for the upcoming school year is to become an assistant principal in the 2022-2023 school year, and I started my ePortfolio when I enrolled in this course, but I truly appreciate Doc Moody for creating the Google Classroom with every single assignment that really goes into our ePortfolio long before we start our practicum. So I look forward to the rest of this course or the rest of these classes, and I'm anxiously awaiting the conclusion.